Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today with a bunch of trades, and today's date is December the 7th and I'm using my new Trigger Zones trading system. Let's check to see how many trades I did do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16 trades it looks like, and as you can clearly see, for a grand total of that. So 16 trades. I don't even know how many pips that is, but it's got to be at least 400 pips. Another great day of trading. And before I took the trade on each and every one of these trades, I first drilled down the lights. About 6 o'clock this morning, I was making my daily trade plan. Let's take a look at the daily trade plan for December the 7th. Every one of the trades I took, there's 21 instruments here. I did 16 of them. I did exactly what it said, either buying or selling. So probably at this point, you're probably saying, oh, I wish I had a daily trade plan like that. And of course, I make it available to everyone. All I charge is $100 a month for this. And as one trader told me, since he got this, he never makes less than 100 pips a day. So even if you're just doing, one mini lot, that's like 100 pips, $100, because one pip on a mini is $1. So you can do the math. If you trade every day times 20 days, you only have to trade one day, and you really should get your money. Anyhow, keep that in mind. And if you have any questions about this daily trade plan, just get in contact with me. I do have a ongoing special. If you buy 1 month, I throw in 2 weeks for free. It's a very short, limited time special offer. 6 weeks for the price of 4. So anyhow, something for you to think about if you're not making money 100 or more pips a day. And I'm doing well over 200 pips a day. So getting into these trades, what makes this system, and I would go as far as calling it the Holy Grail trading system, mainly because of this indicator right here. It's the trigger zones. TZ is short for trigger zones. It really helps to getting into trades at the beginning of the up and down cycles within the market. Now I know there's really truly no Holy Grail trading system and no magic indicator. But if you had a system producing 200 or more pips day in and day out, I'm sure you would be giving it the same nickname. What I love about it is that you can easily trade all 3 trading sessions 24 hours a day. Now that's what I call the flow of the market. This is what you have to learn. So, pound New Zealand. There's the arrow. I manually put in. Had a trader ask me, does this automatically pop in? Sorry to disappoint you, but once you make a decision, after you drill down the lights, remember you have to drill down the lights, the higher time frames, it's telling me to sell, so I manually put in this arrow. So here we go. Let's see where I got in at. A lot of these trades did qualify for a great way to trade. I was a little bit impatient, and I knew that it could have easily gone back to the goal line. Didn't bother me. You just have to hang tight and wait for the trade to start paying out those pips. Close it out here just being happy with about 9 pips, and 9 pips on the pound New Zealand paid $677. The main reason I do a lot more than one trade, I've learned that many years ago. I used to always take the trade that'll barely move 10 pips, or it'll go 40 pips against me. So the way I figured it out, if I do a bunch of trades, as my mentor taught me, it's virtually impossible for you to have a losing day, as long as you have a good trading plan, a pretty good system, and you're going to do a bunch of trades, 5, 10 or more trades. And of course, in between, after you pull the trigger, you have to have trade management, and before you pull the trigger, you have to have money management in order. Next trade, pound yen. There's the arrow. Gold line is going down, qualifies for a great way to trade. Everything is cool. Let's see where I got in at. Another one decided to do a bit of a cycle. Not a big deal. And for you traders who love to scalp, this trigger zones, that mainly the TZ indicator on top of the timing histogram, it's great at scalping. It really pinpoints the buy low and sell high points. Took the trade there. I didn't see it because I was trying to watch so many trades, but I was happy at this point. When I closed it out, looks like 7 pips, and 7 pips on the pound yen paid $703. Moving on to the Euro New Zealand. Let's run a check on that. There's the arrow. Higher time frame said to sell. It's also included in my daily trade plan saying to sell. Gold line is going down. Everything is cool. Let's see where I got in at. Should have got out over here. Would have ended up with a little bit more pips. But I was still very happy when I did close it out. And you notice that many times, if you get the timing right, it doesn't go very much against you. 7 pips, closing it out with 15. And 15 pips on the Euro New Zealand paid out $1,015. Moving on to the dollar CAD. Here we go. This looked like it turned into a great example. Pretty much all the trades qualified for a great way to trade. There's the arrow. Everything telling me to sell. Went sideways. Sometimes you have to wait around for 2-3 hours, but eventually the market will go in the direction that I'm predicting in a daily trade plan. Not 100% of the time, but most of the trades do. Let's see, 14 pips, and 14 pips on a dollar CAD paid $1,183. Moving on to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, here we go. Remember, these futures and indices, those are the ones that pay the most. Let's bring in the data here, the blue box properly. Here we go. Qualified for a great way to trade. Higher time frame said to buy. So, exactly what I did. Bought it at this cursor. Closed it out being happy. Could have made a lot more, but I ended up with 32 pips. And remember, each pip is only worth $5 in the Dow Jones. 32 pips paid $1,650. Moving on to the Euro Ozzy. Another one qualified for a great way to trade. To go the arrow here from the higher time frames. Let's see where I got in at. This one didn't even go 1 pip against me. Oh, fantastic. Love trading this way. Ended up with 26 pips. And those 26 pips on the Euro Aussie paid $1,844. Moving on to the DAX 30. Careful with this one. Pays a lot. 37.50. Well, it depends on how many lots you're doing. But anyhow, if you do one standard lot, it's a little bit less, like $3.75. But due to the fact that I do 10 lots, so it's $37.50 a pip. There's the arrow. I don't need a big move to make. And looking at it now, I wish I hung around a little bit longer, because let me go down to the 5 minutes. Don't need a very big move to make some good good money. Would have made a fortune here. Double check that one more time, right at the cursor. And I close it out here with around 53. So that's 53 pips. I would need a calculator, figure it out, but let's just go with 53 pips, paid $1,875. I just used the calculator to be more accurate. You move the cursor just a hair and you can add a couple, 2 or 3 extra pips, but that works out to exactly 50 pips. That's what I got on the DAX 30, pound Aussie. This one I sold it. There's the arrow. Qualified for a great way to trade. Let's see where I got in at. Directly taken from my daily trade plan. Look at how many pips you would have made today. Looks like 28 pips. And those 28 pips on the pound Aussie paid $1,986. Moving on to the next trade, Euro Yen. It's at the far right side here. Here's the Euro Yen. Want to be selling it, there's the arrow. Again, directly from my daily trade plan. Got in at that cursor. Closed it out being happy with 24 pips. And 24 pips on the Euro Yen paid $2,111. Okay, next trade, Euro Dollar. Okay, here it is. There's the arrow. Again, higher time frame saying to sell. Exactly what I did. Didn't even go 1 pip against me, the way I love to trade. And closed out the trade, just being happy with 25 pips. And those 25 pips, remember Euro Dollar, you get paid $10 a pip. Those 25 pips paid $2,500. Moving on to the next trade, Pound Dollar. Pound Dollar, here we go. This one I sold it. Again, directly from my daily trade plan. Went a little bit against me back to the goal line, about 3 pips. No big deal. Close it out being happy with, well, the pound dollar has to give 25. That has to be 25 pips because it pays $10 a pip, and those 25 pips, same as the euro dollar, $2,500. Moving right along to the Nasdaq. Careful with this one. It's $20 a pip from the daily trade plan. Again, buy. Drop it down to the 5 minutes just to make sure I get the reading okay. Bring the blue box in properly. Here we go. Let's see how many pips I got. Nasdaq, 14 and a half times 2 is 28, 29. That would be right. 14.7 actually. 14 pips. 14.7 pips or ticks, whatever you want to call it. And those 14 pips paid out $2,940. Moving on to the next trade, Euro CAD. It's more to the left here. Euro CAD, here we go, Euro CAD. This one I sold it, higher time frames. Daily trade plan, everything is saying to sell. Let's see where I got in at. Didn't even go 1 pip against me. Love trading this way. Close it out, being happy with, well, looks like about 45 pips. And those 45 pips on the Euro CAD paid $3,550. Moving on to S&P 500. This one I bought it. Let's go down to the 5 minutes. Let's see where I got in at. Went a little bit against me, but that's okay. When you know, as the arrow here is telling me, when you know it's going to go up, well, just take the trade. And on the S&P 500, let's double check that from there to there. It's 72. I just calculated 72 times 5 and then times 10 lots. So 72 pips at $5 a pip. That ended up paying out $3,625. Moving on to the pound CAD. Another one I wanted to sell directly from my daily trade plan. Another great results. 52 pips, and 52 pips on the pound CAD paid $4,102. Moving on to the next trade. Oh, it's the last one, the Russell. Let's run a check on the Russell. Pays $10 a pip. Let's see where I got in at. I bought it. Could have stayed in for a lot more, but I don't know about you, but I'm happy with 400 pips. Close it out with, let's see now, 50, it has to be 56 because it's $10 a pip. So 56 pips times 10 lots paid out $5,600. So another great day of trading. I just calculated everything on all these trades, all the pips and ticks. I ended up with, I was right when I said at least 400. I ended up with 494 pips and ticks, and those 494 pips paid $37,864. If your system is not producing on a daily basis, I highly, highly recommend you getting the trigger zones, and don't forget the daily trade plan. If you want to start making money in the very near future, well, either get the daily trade plan, providing that you don't know how to do this. And believe me, it took me 17 years before I could figure out how to do this. It's not easy. Some people try to do it and they screw it up. But once you know how to do it and you know and you're good at it, then a good trading plan will give you pips. Keep in mind, not every one of these will work out. So anyhow, let's see. Where was I now? I highly recommend you getting the trigger zones. All you have to do is look right below this video. My system here, I do charge $250 for it. I teach how to trade the flow of the market. And this magic indicator does an excellent job at catching the lows, buy low and sell high cycles. My trigger zone system has 5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Included are 6 MT4 templates, 9 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. I threw in a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and 9 bonus videos. Now there's a lot of ways to trade. The more ways you learn, the more pips you'll make, and eventually that relates into more money. My number one way is a great way to trade. Pretty much every trade today I took was a great way to trade. Has a very high success rate for me. It's at least 95%. I was looking at this 50 when I said 50. Now there's a lot of videos I produce, 50 of them, 50 training videos, because there's a lot of education in here. This is what you need. Put the video on pause, read all of these different ways to trade. If you have any questions, simple, pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. If you live too far, simple again. Here's my email. Remember, there's an underscore here. Now, I really do prefer Skype. Simple again. All you got to do is click on this link. And I'm so glad that Skype provides this link, because a lot of traders was finding it difficult to find me on Skype. Simple. Click on this link. Once you do that, we'll have Skype connection, Skype screen sharing, and through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session, answer your questions, give you some tips and tricks. Keep in mind, I do all of that with no obligation to you. Now, if you click on this link, you'll see 35 screenshots of all the trigger systems I've been building over the years. So it's time to wrap up this video, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, until the next trading day and video, good luck with your trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.